Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my online journal, trading journal. Hopefully that you have decided to do exactly what I'm doing and start this journey and get this question answered for you, as well as I am trying to get the answer for me. Can trading change my life? Now, the reality is trading can possibly change your life, can possibly change my life, but I just find myself more and more focusing a lot on my personal life, working, business, and all of that stuff. And it is hard to actually get a pulse on trading. However, I'm here to give it a go. I'm journaling it, and we'll see how long it's going to take to make some money and be successful. So far, we've had some successes, some losses. So we've, just to break it down, just so you don't have to look at all of the other videos, I started trading in February. And I started with $500. I lost the $500 pretty much the second or third time I traded. And the way I lost it was entering to market. I entered the market and I waited. I thought it was going to turn. I was certain on my trade. And of course, it did turn, but I decided that I was not going to go under $100. I mean, I'm not going to lose my last $100. And I exited at, I think it was 75 actually. And just so you know, just after that, he turned back and he went pretty much exactly how I said it, but it was, I think, about 75 pips into the stop loss, and I normally have a 60 pip stop loss. When I say normally, for whatever reason, when I started trading, I just assumed that 60 pips is the way to go. Only later I actually understood that the stop loss should actually be placed at an area where the market makes no sense to go the way I saw it go. So if it reached that point to take you out, that means that the analysis that you've done was completely wrong, and therefore you lost the money that you had available for that particular trade. So yeah, that's what I was. However, since then, I have traded a little bit more, and I've actually made the money back, and I went back to 500 in I think two or three trades, and I've lost another 45 bucks. But my logic was that I'm going to risk the whole account and just stop it at 100, so I never go under the 100. The way I look at it is that $100 is my bullet, to give me a chance again at it. But there were some fundamentals that I was getting wrong all the time. I was looking at weekly for direction and daily for confirmation and for hourly for entry. But the way I was doing it, I was looking at weekly, just seeing what weekly is, bullish, bearish, or whatever it was, and then I would go to daily and kind of confirm the exact same thing. So the mistake I was making was that I was looking at weekly for direction. So let's say weekly is bullish in a retracement, bearish retracement, or was bearish in a bullish retracement. Then I would look at daily, see whether it aligns with that, whether it is bearish or bullish, or at least the retracement align, in order to look at an entry on the 4 hourly. But I've quickly realized that was not really working. I mean, not so quickly, because I started in February and it took me about a week, 2 weeks ago, and I finally came to the understanding that it was wrong. And what I do is I always like to go back to the videos that I've already looked at many times. And as you probably already know, Alex is my go-to teacher or coach or whatever you like to call him. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people online, but he has been the most kind of, let's say, the way he explains things made a lot more sense, and he used basic language, not complicated, not fancy words, and I like that a lot. And only then, after looking at all of those videos again, I realized that daily is the master, at least for what I'm trying to do. And from now on, this would signify for me the first week that I'm actually doing that. I'm focusing on the analysis of how I should have from the get-go, and we'll see whether there is potential trades, potential entries as such. And I'm just gonna do a quick market analysis ready for the week. Now today is Sunday and is 8:22 p.m. New Zealand time, and market is obviously off. So the thing is, at least I have an opportunity to look at the market and see where is at and whether there is any opportunities to enter. Now, there's one thing that I used to do as well, and I'm kind of trying to work around it at the moment. Every time I do market analysis, I end up having so many pairs, and it's really, really, it's not. It's not the best. It's not the best because what happens is you get distracted, you see things that they're not. And I don't know how to actually lock in the exact trades that I want to take. Now you can see on my screen these run-in pairs. The reason I call them run-in pairs is because I've kind of been working on my own strategy, and I call it run-in. That's some Japanese samurai. He's very precise, humble. He doesn't overreact. He controls his emotions. So I kind of call this run-in, and you can look at my indicators. I also call it run-in. All of the market structures and everything that we've been working on. And I have obviously put this list together from the best to the worst with ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is as good as I guess it gets. Maybe not as good as it gets, but it's much better than what I would know. Now, obviously, all these pairs always change. Um, Weekly better opportunities, but this is what the safest are according to ChatGPT. And for what I wanted to do, just trades that actually range and are somewhat volatile. And we came up with Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY. And those three, the greens, they will be the best, the ideal ones. Then you have the not so ideal ones going downwards. So we'll kind of have a look at these and see if there's any opportunities. But I'm kind of trying to lock in 5 maximum. There's also one more thing that we have actually done, and that is Alex's. Let me see if I can open this without affecting the recording. So we have got the Athena. Now the Athena is probably one of the smartest thing that Alex has really put out for the market, and it's one of those things that had taken so many hours of his time to get this done, and it kind of helps you get a a feel for the trade without having to actually do full analysis. So if you're looking at the Athena at the charts, you can kind of see the pairs, and you can see what Athena kind of sees, where he's at, and what's the let's say the likelihood of a trade. Or not, let's not say likelihood. Let's say the confluences, are in the favor of a sell or a buy based on market structure and market analysis and all of the confluences that Alex kind of built in, which is absolutely fantastic. So you're going through it and you can see, like, for example, Euro USD, we are sitting at 50% confluence. I wish I can show you the screen, but I don't think I can. So it's 50% confluence. Now what that means is we're looking at a potential sell, but it's only 50%. But so both weekly and daily align for a sell. And that's, what did I say, Euro USD? Hold on just a second. Yeah, Euro USD. And I wish I could put this on a different screen, but I only have to. All right, so according to our lovely Athena, this is at 50%. So when it's at 50%, that means the likelihood of this actually going down, it's very, very small. Or, the market can do anything that it wants to do. And if I was to just quickly look at daily and compare it to weekly, that it's such a tight market structure, it almost looks like it's consolidating at a much bigger level. And it's kind of understanding when is going to have a reaction. Now it is definitely, it looks like it is going to potentially have a rejection of the CMA and then go down. And that's what Athena is saying as well. So it's only 50%, so it's not the best. I can also see here, I had some comments from before. I'm not going to get into them. We'll just delete them for now. and we'll add new ones if we need to. But this is not a trade that we're going to take because it's just not what it needs to be. So we're just going to have a look at GBP USD and see whether this has got better options. GBP USD. So GBP USD is currently at 85%. 85% on weekly and daily. So this is a much better trade, and we're looking at a potential buy at a daily level and a potential sell at a weekly level. So let's actually have a look and see what is what. So GBP USD is currently going to consolidate. Forget about that. Let's delete all this crap because it's confusing. Now these areas of interest, let me just have a quick look. Now it's clear that this trend line was not respected, so we can delete that as well. We're still learning about trend lines. They might work, they might not work. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. For now, 9 out of 10. It's like hit and miss, so we'll just leave them out. Now these areas of interest, let's just refresh them a little bit. So for an area of interest to be valid, it needs to have minimum of 3 touches. And what I normally do is I focus on the areas of interest that's within the current market structure leg. So within this, because that's where you would be seeing a reaction. Now this on weekly, remember, is actually it's actually got a potential sell. Oops. I mean, no, sorry, a potential buy. So it is looking like, from a weekly point of view, what Athena is seeing, that we're going to see projection of this EMA and this area of interest and a further push to the upside. And based on what I see here, just based on what I see here, I can kind of see that we formed this. Let me just get rid of the candles. We formed this head and shoulders, which is left head and right shoulder, and we came down below, and now we are retesting the neckline. So it is possible that this is going to have another small push to the upside and then come back down. Now the best thing about this, that we are bearish. So being bearish on a weekly, in order to change the bearish move, you would need to break above the current weekly low or high. So for that to happen, this will have to go above here and close above here. So this is a move that could potentially happen fast or could take another week. But tomorrow being Monday, this would have what I have seen every Sunday has, this massive push, which kind of creates either a wick or stays there and closes with a solid as candle. But yeah, for now, for me, I just want to check these areas of interest. So we have 1 touch, 2 touch, no touch, potentially 3 touch there. But see, we're going kind of back to November 25. I think it's a little bit too far back, but it is possible. It is possible to go back that far, as in it is acceptable on a weekly to go that far back. But just checking this area of interest here now, we can be at the weekly high where the reaction has happened. I mean, that's my understanding. Or we can go to just above it or just below it. So right now we having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So this is a valid area of interest. There's one thing I do see is this point here, which has been a substantial reaction as such. So I'm almost more inclined to have this at that level, to be perfectly honest, rather than when I had it, and just make this area of interest wider. So we are 47 pips. Now 60 pips is acceptable. Now the ideal mark is about 30 pips. And we have a decision to make now, whether we're going to shrink that area of interest or just leave it as it is and have a more loose area of interest, which can be a little bit like detrimental, because when you do place your trade, you would have a much larger stop loss as such. And it's not really needed. It's more, it's better to kind of focus on the accurate points, the touching points. Now this is such a sharp point. I really like that. This is also sharp, but it's just after a double one. So this one here is more likely to be a decent one. So I'm happy to just shrink it to this point. That means I still have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and 4 touches. So this is a pretty well respected weekly area of interest. I can actually get rid of these because I do not want to see them. We can look at them for the future. And let's change this. What? What just happened? Why did that disappear? Weekly AI. Let's see if this does align with daily as well. What's going on here? Okay, weekly. And next one. So what I normally do, and this is obviously to my learnings, we have to go as many times as many touches we have, so we can kind of understand what the market is heading at with it. So how many potential areas of reaction for the price. Then when you're placing a trade, you can kind of see where the price has reacted in the past and whether it's going to have a potential reaction to that same area of interest in the future. So right now we have that one, which is pretty solid and is at the top of weekly, which is great. And then we have another one here that is also pretty valid. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. So this is 4 pretty decent points. Now this one here is much more decent. However, it's only 1, potentially 2. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it exactly as it is, and we'll just monitor it that way. Then we have 1, 2, 3 more points just underneath here. Control C, Control V. So I wish I could join them two together, but I can't. So this is actually valid as well because you have 1, 2, 3 touches. But in all honesty, I would just ignore this one because it's just like noise, like more reaction rather than a clean market reaction at that level. And then we have the bottom of weekly, which is clearly a very well respected area of interest, and this is a solid support. You see, every time we've come down to it, or most times we've come down to it, we have seen a reaction from it. Now the very first time here it had the reaction to the downside, and then it went up above and is retesting this strong area of interest there. And then the second time it's come through, it came back down to retest it, I would say, but clearly hasn't touched that. So this has formed a new area of interest. And at this point here, it did not hold. It consolidated, and then it had a bigger push to the upside. And then ever since then, which is since April 2025, has barely made it below this. It just did not hold. So this, I would say, is a very solid support, and I really like it. So for us now, weekly is bearish. So we would be looking for this instance for a potential sale. However, we can clearly see that weekly is bearish, but it is in a pullback. So it is, currently is forming a bullish candle. Now it's two things that can happen with this candle. This candle can just come up, have another push just to this weekly low high, and then carry on a bearish trend, or it can just keep going up and form a new higher high and change the market structure again. Now, if I was to look at the previous history, it's clear to me that we had a very solid area of interest, very solid like support line. So I would automatically think that this area of interest is a very well respected area of interest, and if anything, this would have a push to the upside. Now we can see at the same area of interest when we had a full engulfing bullish, it has actually had a big push to the upside. and it did it again here with another push, and then it came down now, and this is full engulfing, and potentially have another push to the upside. So it is bearish, but do I think this can go up much higher? Yes. I mean, we can clearly see almost like a range that has been happening since May 2025. So, you know, the trend is your friend. But also once the market is confirming what it's doing, then you can also have your trade. It is possible that we're going to see rejection of this EMA with a big push to the upside. So for me, for now, weekly is bearish, but I'm very conscious of the fact that we've reached this solid area of interest and we have closed engulfing on a weekly level. So just dropping down to daily, just quickly to have a look. Now daily has already become bullish. The other thing too that's to see is that 4 hourly is also bullish, and the lower time frame is also becoming bullish. So it is very likely that we're going to see a push to the upside rather than to the downside. But from what I feel in my little brain and when I'm looking at this, I would definitely see a potential buy rather than a potential sell for whatever reason. I can't see the confluences on it to actually carry on a bearish trend, especially when we have hit this area of interest, which has been so well respected. But until the market is gonna show to us what it wants to do, we won't be able to place a trade. So for me to actually place a trade, I would be waiting for this area of interest to actually be retested again, and I would expect to see rejection. The only thing that it is a little bit annoying to me is that this pretty powerful area of interest just above here, the best thing to happen is for this to break up above, change weekly to bullish. Now that may not happen this week, that's what this would mean, and then come back down to retest this and then have a push to the upside, which the push to the upside can go as high as this minimum, and then it has the potential to go as high as that. That's where the price has been in the past, but we will be just happy with that to come to this point here. Now from a price action point of view, that psychological number, which is very important, I'm just gonna drop down to the 4 hourly and just see where we're sitting. So we kind of seeing here the price hitting that 1.34. That is what I would think a psychological number. So if this does end up going up above this area of interest at currently weekly low high, sorry, I would be confident in actually placing a trade. So for now, let me just go to the daily, and I want to put a note so next time we actually come to it, we can see it. So wait for daily to break above the AOI and retest for a buy. Okay, we're just gonna have these comments for now, and then when we look at it, we can actually understand exactly where we at. But to be perfectly honest, I just think I'm gonna be, if I wait for that to happen, I'm gonna miss a trade this week. So we'll just see it and we'll learn from it. It is what it is. We can't win them all. I'm just gonna add this to potential, oh, let's just say watch list, because we are just watching. Next one is USD JPY, and I'm just gonna quickly go back to Athena. USD JPY, USD JPY. Okay, USD JPY is only 35%. Holy shit. 35% chance of actually putting a buy on weekly and 35% of putting a sell on daily. So it is really not ideal. So yeah, she's not happy. She's definitely not happy. And looking at this right now, what do I think? What do I think? Let's just see weekly quickly. Weekly is bullish. Weekly is bullish. Okay, I just don't know why. I do not know why Athena would not see this as a bullish trend. Interesting. Bullish trend. I do think this is going to carry on to the upside for whatever reason. I can see it has done it in the past, so it is very, 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 very possible. There's no bad news, I think. Latest updates, dollar set for biggest weekly drop since April. Okay, so we might see a reversal. We do not know. Anyway, a thing is for certain, we're not going to enter a trade unless it is got good potential, and this one doesn't. Euro JPY, it's going to be our next target. Let's see, Euro JPY. Oh my God, Euro JPY. Now, Euro JPY is sitting at 85%, and this 85% is a buy on daily and a buy on weekly. That's actually pretty good. So we're looking for a buy. Let's see, weekly bullish. Yeah, weekly is bullish, daily is bullish. So far, both daily and weekly align. Monthly also aligns, which is great. So we have got a good trade, so to speak. Now we know that that we have actually been consolidating all along since December, almost. Let's say January. We have been consolidating, and now we have finally got to a point where maybe we have finished the consolidation, maybe, but doesn't really matter. What we know is that the market has reached this area of interest, weekly potentially as well. Let me just adjust, get rid of the candles quickly, and double check. So we have 1, 2, 3 touches. This is a weekly area of interest, and it's nice and clean. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Yeah. So sorry. We have 4 touches on both of these areas of interest, and we have nothing else. It's only 2 there. 1, 2, potentially 3, but I think it's just too wide. How wide is this one? 48. Yeah, this is gonna be way too wide. If we go from here, that's 2 touches. Yeah, it's 103. Nah, that's not good, guys. So we only have 2 valid areas of interest, and I can get rid of these stupid trend lines because they no good. Clearly they no good. And we can go to daily. So we know, let me just put the candles back on. We know that this market has been, or it is currently bullish, and it has not been able to break below this area of interest. We can see how much support it's getting, and right now this last candle is also rejecting. So let's just drop to daily and see what it looks like. So at a daily level, now daily was what was that? So this was bearish. Okay, so bearish, it changed to bullish, bullish again, bullish again. Okay, and then it changed to bearish and then bullish again. Yeah, so it's, to me, definitely is consolidating, but it is at a point now where it's kind of rejecting this area of interest. Athena is thinking that this is going to be what is it, a buy, and Athena is rejecting the daily area of interest. Yeah, but it is below the EMA, and it's not at around the psychological number, so I do not know. What's R? Okay. Yeah, let's have a look again. Is it at the psychological number, or are we tripping? So let's go to 4 hourly, just a bit clearer. Okay. This not really a psychological number, to be honest. The psychological number is all the way down here. 18400 or 1000. 184.000. Yeah. I guess. I guess so. But anyway, I would say, according to Athena and according to me, but not according to this one here. So, according to Athena, we're chasing a buy, but man, it just looks nothing like a buy to me. I'll get rid of that. I don't want it there. I just want to put some notes. Wait for market to retest weekly AOI for long position. Okay, cool. So that's that. I'm just gonna quickly mark this. So we want to wait for this to happen. We basically, what we want to see is we want this to break up above and go down, or at least like it's currently gone below this area of interest. It needs to retest it, which it is retesting now, and it is rejecting this EMA, or it will be rejecting this EMA and carry on a bearish trend, which it is possible. Of course, it is possible. Anything is possible. The market can do either one or the other. So I'm actually comfortable to make another note and say keep an eye out for a potential bearish move, as it seems that imaging the EMA and retesting the AOI. All right, let's see. Hello? What? Oh, you bastard. Okay. So I just have this as a note. It's just for fun, so we can actually see. So this is Athena. This is me. Let's just say that. Ricky's eyes. Ricky's eyes, and this Athena. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Athena's good. Alex has really, really worked on it a lot, and but it is not, you know, I can't just go and put a trade based on Athena. You still have to do your analysis. So we'll just move this to the watch list, and that will be our second pair. GBP AUD. I should have probably just checked everything else. GBP AUD in Athena's list and just see which ones are good. Now, GBP AUD is at 70%. 70% for a long position. And weekly is a short position, so it is not ideal. Now with Athena, I can go through and just change the confluences. Like the trend is on auto, area of interest rejection is on auto, touching the EMA, it's manual. I can put that in there, but I can also override the things based on what I see, and I haven't actually done any of that, but it does. The way it's set up to be on auto, it's not bad at all. Okay, let's just go back to trading view, see what we see here. I want to have a look at 4 hourly. 4 hourly, it shows us, remember, shows us daily and weekly, including the 4 hourly. So we are at the top of, let's say, a range, and it is possible if this market is ranging, it is possible that we're going to see a reversal and have this carry on a bearish trend. But what is important is to get the market to show us first. So just going back to daily here, it clearly, this is really, really clear that it is a bullish trend, and it has been bullish all the way from down here. But we are reaching this point, which this point has now created a third touch. So 1, 2, 3 touches, and that would be another area of interest. And it is possible. Let me see if I can square this one. Oh wow, that's a big one. Goodness me. That's the beauty of a journal. You don't have to really edit out anything. I know I may sound lazy, but just remember when you're doing this, you will go through exactly the same shit like I am going right now. I feel tired. I want to go sleep. But the reality is we've set up a wedding just before and we have to go pick it up at 12 a.m. So not good. Good, but not good. Good from a financial point of view, I guess. So this area of interest is ooh la la, 78.4 pips. Not a good weekly area. So biff it, screw it. That daily, sorry, daily. Let's see weekly. Maybe weekly gives us a good area there. Nah, nada, nada. But hey, the good thing is just looking at this. Holy shit. This is looking pretty damn good. Weekly, it looks like it's gonna just keep pumping up to the upside. So, yeah, I would like to see some rejection of that area of interest on a daily. Okay, this is good. This is promising. So, just checking this, we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. So, this is just being made shorter for whatever reason. Okay, so this could potentially be the move. This could potentially be the move. We need to see this go as low as that and then have a push to the upside. Now this push can be a decent push. Interesting. Interesting. We'll see what this is gonna do. But it would be very nice if this actually is rejecting the EMA and this area of interest to put a long position. I like this. I like this very much. But for now, we're just gonna keep an eye on it. We're gonna move GBP AUD to watch list, and I want to add here weekly bullish, daily bullish. Waiting for AOI rejection plus EMA rejection to place a long position. Place a long position. Okay, cool. Nice. All right, that's that. That's good. Let's see the next one. Euro AUD. So this would be our second, I said, watch list. Third, sorry. Third, I take that back. Euro AUD. Euro AUD. What are we? Euro CAD, Euro NZD, Euro AUD. Euro AUD is at 40%. Shit, that's a really, really bad confluence. And it's both daily and weekly. Looking for a potential long position. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, just watch 4. Watch 4. Watch 4 now. Okay, cool. Watch 4 now. Huge potential. I can see what we said is going to happen last week and it didn't quite happen, did it? But I can get rid of these now. We don't need them. So this has been bullish. Come back down to retest. It's pushed again. It's coming back down to retest. It's retesting this area. So we should definitely see rejection. We should definitely see rejection. This is pretty much what we should see. Okay. Okay. So I can actually say exactly the same thing I said here. Control C. Control B. Okay. Let's see. Are we going to be able to place a trade and make some money? I don't know. I don't know. But what I know is that doing this would potentially lead me to be able to play some freaking good trades. All right, so your AUD, I want to add this to watch list. So this is number 4, and I'm now seeking 2 more. So AUD USD. What is Athena saying? AUD USD. AUD USD. AUD USD is at 60%. 60%. 60%, it's very, very small. 60% long position on weekly and 60% on a short position on daily. So not looking good, guys. Oh, nothing, not looking good, but let's see in reality what's happening here. Delete that, delete this, we don't need them. So weekly is bearish. This is the part that I really, really understand, but it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Like right now, this has clearly been on a bearish move, right? And currently weekly is bearish, daily is bullish. Daily has just become bullish. So because daily has just become bullish, this could actually indicate the fact that we have changed the trend. We changed the dynamics of the market, and we're now going to have a push to the upside. And the reason for that, in my opinion, is if that was to happen, it would happen to actually balance it out again and just reach that EMA and maybe push a little bit above it. Or just looking at this one right here, at this point, even though this was a massive bearish trend, we changed bullish, again, and then we went back down and we became bearish and stayed bearish all the way to here. And then again, another bearish push all the way down to here. And the reason that we're seeing a bullish move now is because this little blue candle, what that has done to the indicator has said, hey, we basically had a reversal and we created a big we created a big spike in the road, and therefore the indicator is picking it up as a new leg. Not that, but well, even that itself is a new leg, but this one here as a new bearish leg, because that's a new high and a new high low. Sorry, low and a new low high. And then this new candle, when it closed bullish and engulfing. So it's swallowed these one, two, three candles. Then we had the pushback to the downside, and then a full engulfing again to have a push to the upside. The market on Athena does not look good, but I do think this is potentially gonna go up, and I'm just going to mark it because I'm not going to put this in the trend. I just want to have that as an option. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna say Athena is at 60% long, and actually I should say short and long on weekly, on quickly. Shit, sorry, and long on weekly. What's the word? I can. What's the word? Let me guess. I'm not guessing. It's like shit, I forget the word. Probabilities. Okay, I can probably say we will have a push to the upside. Come on, upside. Anyway, I'm not going to put this. Maybe we should, because then I'll know. I'm not gonna trade this particular one, but I think it's good to have it in the watch list just in case. Next, NZD/USD. NZD/USD. What? That was shit. I saw that. NZD/USD. NZD/USD is at 80%. 80% for a potential short position on daily and short position on weekly. So what that means is that that is looking pretty good. So let's see. Let's go back to it and look for confluences. Okay, we can delete this. That was a trade that I marked. I did not take perfect analysis, all these bullshit comments. I didn't take the trade, so they don't matter. This here is a previous week's review. We do not need it, can go. Oh, come on, buddy. Why are you doing this to me? There you go. Okay, so let's see, weekly. Weekly is currently bearish. So it has been bearish, rejecting the EMA, gone down, and now it's coming back up to retest this area of interest. What did I say we're looking for? We're looking, yeah, this does make sense. So a short position. So we're looking for rejection at this area of interest, which is very, very nice. Very, very nice. It is, however, very, very low to that EMA, but I'm pretty happy with this one. Very good, very good. Let's just put a note here. Athena confluence check is at 80% for a short. Support. This lines up with what I can see from one POV. All right, so we are at the area of interest. We are obviously weekly and daily is bearish, which I love. It does align, and that's the only way we're going to trade, if daily and weekly aligns. Now it seems that daily has had a pullback, so the price has come into a premium price, which means we're going to be in an advantage for a short position. And we are also I'm expecting that we're going to see tomorrow a rejection of this EMA. So the next candle that's going to happen tomorrow, it should be a long candle, touch that EMA, and then suck back in before it's closing on the daily. And Tuesday we should have an alignment to be able to actually enter a trade here. This is actually very nice. NZD USD, I really, really like that. So we're going to add this to possible entry straight away and watch list. This is cool. This is really, really cool. All right, let's see. So this is our number. Let me see, USD CAD watch list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of them is not valid because it's just us keeping an eye on it. Yeah, look, I'm gonna go through all of the list. I'm sorry it's taking a bit too long, but remember this is a diary, trading diary, and yeah, oh man, I'm doing things I said I'm not gonna do, but you know, it's hard not to do it because I like looking at the markets and understanding what they are. And you can see from the ones I had a look, only 3 of them were at 80%. The other ones were really, really low based on Athena and also my confluences. Maybe I put them here for no particular reason, just to keep an eye on them. So I think we'll do this list as the watch list. I'm going to go through all of my stuff, and then I'll do one more thing. I'll go through Athena and just see if any other pair has got like maybe 85 or 90%, and we'll keep an eye on them. And then tomorrow after market opens, I'm going to go through this and find the 4 trades that I will be chasing to put a trade this week and hopefully make some money. I know, money. Money is just a tool, but I have a small account. I need to grow it. So the only way to grow it is to take some trades. And I did say in the past that I was going to take small trades, like a small risk, like 1% or 2% from the $500 account. And I'm still challenged. My mind is saying, nah, it's too small. You should risk more. We risk the whole fucking lot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. The point is we're learning. We're learning, and hopefully we can learn the easy way, not the hard way. So USD CAD, where are we? USD CAD, USD. Wow. USD, USD. Why can't I see it? AUD. Oh yeah, USD CHF, USD CAD. Okay, there. So USD CAD again here on Athena is at 60%. So this is very, very low. And what Athena is expecting is for a long position, but the price has reached really, really high above the, let's say, a good value, and is expecting a pullback. So that's why it's at 60%. And if we go to have a look at it, I'm pretty sure we can see it. So this is exactly what Athena is saying. There's no areas of interest. If I go here, there's no valid area of interest to see a potential reaction from. See, here is one touch, two touch, one, two touch. Let me just zoom out. Yeah, this is absolutely nothing. So what Athena is saying is that this can do anything. So it's a 60% because it's shit. So that's probably still outstanding now. Patience, wait for it to show its move. Now I'm actually gonna start putting this writing exactly where the market was at the time of the comment. Then what that means, it means it's hard to see a little bit, but at least, yeah, I'm gonna put it there, or maybe just there. Then we know whenever it's moving, we know in relation to the mark as such, we can see what it did. But we clearly see this area here being very, very solid, but it's not, we do not have a resistance as strong as support. So it is possible this will do anything, just like this one did, you know, just had a weird reaction. There's the psychological price here, which it is possible to see this hit that price, and then everybody's gonna sell 4-5 right here. And you know, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense because of this here. So we're very, very close to that psychological number. So a lot of people will probably put take profits at that point. But look, we'll just keep an eye on it. Now, this is again one of those trades I would like to keep an eye on it. Now, if I leave them here in running, I may not come to check on it, which is why I would actually move it in the watch list, because at least in the watch list, I know I'm supposed to watch it. So that will give me a chance not to miss it if it does decide to move. AUDJPY. What is AUDJPY doing? AUDJPY. AUDCH, AUDJPY. AUDJPY is at 35%. So honestly, I'm not even going to bother because Athena is pretty accurate when it comes to that. GBP JPY is exactly the same. Well, mostly. And to be perfectly honest, me looking at this, it's everything is bullish. So I have I have all the reasons to believe that this is actually gonna go bullish. I can see the retracement here. Okay, so 1, 2, well, maybe here 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, this is not bad. Let's move this. Okay, what will it look like? 1 touch, 2 touch, no touch, no touchy. Control Z. So it's a bad area of interest. Yeah, so forget about it. So what this can do, can just carry on going up, rejecting the EMA and just rejecting this area of interest. Maybe this area of interest is truly placed wrong, but it's hard to tell because it's clearly we do not have enough touches there, unless this is too narrow. Let's see, how big is this? 33. You see, this is the ideal size. The ideal size for this area of interest. So I don't fucking know. But we can go as far as 60, remember? So if I go there, that means 1, 2, 3 touches. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And if I go here, nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I can go here for sure. At least that's still within. I can make it a tad little bit bigger. Okay, so at least right now it hasn't broken below it as such, and it is potential to have a push to the upside. So I'm gonna leave this marked because I want to know. Unclear, keep an eye out for it. I'm just gonna carry on this and say looks like it will be a push to the upside. Push it up. So at least we have a comment. GBP. But again, this is not a trade. I put it in the watch list to have a look, but I'm doing it more for learning and more for curiosity rather than anything else. All right, AUD CAD, AUD CAD, AUD CAD, 65% for a short position on both daily and weekly. Let's see. Yeah, it does actually make sense. Weekly is already rejecting this. Weekly is already bearish and is rejecting this area of interest, which is pretty freaking cool. Now, this is something we said is going to happen and it didn't happen. This area of interest is outside our interest and it's probably not even valid. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 touches, 4 touches. Hey, that's a valid. I'm just going to leave it there. It is outside our market structure, but it is valid. Let's see what's happening here. So 1 touch, 2 touch, 3. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm just going to copy this, Control C, Control V. There is an absolute area of interest right here. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5 touch. Okay, that's valid as it can be. And this beautiful, my God, that was nice. This is a daily and you have a doji and an engulfing. This is, to me, very beautiful. Now, based on the fact that this has been freaking ranging forever, I think this is going to go up. And I know I do this mistake a lot. I say that it's going to do that, but it needs to be based on the confluence. It's like right now, weekly is bearish, daily is bearish. And I'm saying, nah, this is going to go up. It's probably not going to go up, you know, like Ricky, wake up. But yeah, I think it's going to have a push. I think it's going to have a push a little bit higher. And because I can see every time it's come from this area of interest, it just had a push to the upside, and he came again and had a push to the upside, and now again it's having a push to the upside. It kind of makes sense to do that again, but of course market can do whatever the market wants to do, and being what it is now in the middle of weekly and in the middle of daily, that's an area that it's a no-go for me. So I would like to stay away from it. Yeah, so no, thank you. GBP CAD. What the? Oh, these would have been a nice trade. Look at that. Holy shit. Wow. This is 1 to 7.9. Why haven't I entered this one? Look at this entry signal. I mean, even if I had this entry here after this engulfing, I even highlighted that's what's going to do, but look at it. And then push. Anyway, it's done and dusted. Forget about it. Let's remove this. And let's look. GBP CAD. GBP CAD is at 50% for a long position. Sorry, long position. Yeah, long position on both daily and weekly. So let's see what we have here. Weekly. Oh my God. What the fuck? Shit. This is weekly. This is weekly and it looks incredible. This trend line can honestly fuck off. Okay. Well, it is bullish. It's beautifully bullish. So the only thing I can say is we need a retracement. We need this to come back down, retest this and have another push to the upside. So we will put a trade right there at that level. So let's just say wait for retracement and put a long position then. Simple. Let's see what's going to happen. But that means I need to add this to the watch list. Okay, excellent. Now, I'm just going to go through everything again as an Athena's list and see what we have high and what we have low. I'm just going to call them out. Then you also know what I'm looking at because you can't quite see the screen. So Euro USD is at 50%. GBP USD is at 85%. And I believe we have marked that. USD JPY is at 35%. USD CHF is at 45%. AUD USD is at 60%. USD CAD is at 60%. NZD USD at 80%. Next minor pair, Euro GBP 70%, and 70% is for a sell. Euro JPY 85%, and we have already got this. Euro CHF is at 75%. Euro AUD is at 40%. Euro CAD 80% for a buy. Do we have this Euro CAD? Euro CAD. Euro versus CAD. This is pretty good. This is pretty good, and he's actually hitting this area of interest on a bullish trend. So let's add this to our watch list. And let's add this. Get rid of this. This again. I'm gonna again. This would have been absolutely stunning. Oh my god. You guys, I need to grow some fucking balls and just start trading more often with the real money. Anyway, these areas of interest needs to be checked weekly. So the way I normally check these areas of interest, of course, we putting the line chart on, we're hiding our candles, just makes things easier to see. We're looking at weekly high. We have 1, 2, 3 touches, so this is absolutely beautiful. We're gonna leave it alone. Now this is above the area of interest, which means it coming from a bullish move, and just creating a new high. I'm expecting this to come back down and retest this to have a push, which may go as high as this, or even higher. Looking at a psychological number, maybe 1.65. But yeah, for now, that's a good valid area of interest. And for the weekly high low, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So I can probably just move this area of interest here a little bit higher. And let's see what we look like there. Beautiful. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 touches. So that's a pretty good area of interest. Now this area of interest is outside our interest, so we can forget about that one for now. I don't like the color of this. This is my old market lines. Border, we can leave it black. Background, blue. Yes, please. I don't like the black, but maybe. Okay. Okay, border black, we leave black. Fill blue. Line, bam. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so that's where that is. I can now go to daily. Just confirm that we are in the same place. Daily, yeah, we have plenty of touches. So they both weekly and daily area of interest. So we can put these candles back on, get rid of the line chart, and look at what is happening here. So we have been bullish, daily, boom, boom. So daily bullish, we're staying under. So yeah, right now we are above this area of interest. So as soon as we break in above, I could actually say this area of interest can actually go there. Then it's more in line with daily and weekly, which is absolutely amazing. That's what I like. When they line up, it's the best. Oh my god, it's been an hour already. So sorry, guys. I'm not sorry because this is my trading journal, but because I'm such a nice guy, I only say sorry for things like that. But I'm more than aware that whatever I'm doing right now, you will be going through, or you are going through. So there's no point me rushing shit out, because rushing is no good. Remember, I'm trying to learn stuff here. This should take as long as it needs to take. I shouldn't be trying to keep it to 1 hour. But yeah, EuroCAD looking beautiful for me. I would say that's gonna come back down to retest and then go up. So I'm going to add this to the watch list. It is added now. Perfection. Okay, next EuroCAD NZD. Euro NZD is at 65%. I'm back on Athena, guys. GBP NZD is at 80%. GBP NZD. Do I have this? GBP NZD. GBP NZD. Oh, I don't have it. Okay. So GBP NZD, we're looking at long position on daily and long position on weekly, and it's 80%. So hey, that is pretty damn good. Um, okay, so what we expecting to happen? Rejection at this area of interest. So the amazing thing is that this has broken above, come back down to retest. It had a big push and then it's come back down. So if I'm just curious and a little bit nosy, actually let me go to daily. I just want to do this because I want to do this. I want to get this one off. I want to go to the 4 hourly. I want to see the push to the downside. Okay, so the push to the downside. Okay, and then I have this as an entry signal. The doji and engulfing with the rejection of the EMA. So my trade would have been pretty much from here. And I would have had, oh my God, that is ginormous. What is going on here? I never understand how this thing works. Oh man, so okay, that means this area of interest may even be wrong. Yeah, fucking hell. 60 pips. What is going on? Anyway, that's where my trade entry would have been. And to be honest, that's where my stop loss would have been. That is the bottom line. It would have been right there. Now I would have chased a long position, which tells me at the point of me making this decision, the market has already changed to bullish again. So this has been on a 4 hourly, of course. This was a bullish push, and then we broke below, we went bearish, and then we went bearish again with this leg, and then this changed to bullish. So that would have been an ideal entry. Now the thing is, I would have shitted my pants because look at this freaking wick. Look how close that would have been to the bottom. I'm just guessing. Like my brain is saying probably what I would have done to be a little bit more precaution. I have more precaution. I would have went as low as that wick and say to myself, if this market has truly changed position, has truly changed the way, like I forget what it's called, change direction basically. At least I'm wrong there. I have a chance to prove me wrong, but this is a good signal for me, and I know daily and weekly was on a bullish push. Now this is a retracement and is not a change of character, so that would have given us a pretty freaking good trade. I mean, that's 1 to 2.3. That would have been amazing. Now that was just a slight break, a slight analysis of what that could have been. But anyway, back to reality. So that's where we are. This can go because it's distracting us. And what Athena is saying, that we're going to see a push to the upside. Now we are, leave. We are now, we have broken above, we come down to retest it, gone up and retesting again. So we're retesting twice. Now this retesting, it's really annoying to me. I do not fully understand it. The only thing I could think of and finding like a bit of an answer, because I like to have an answer, makes me feel a little bit better, is that this particular one here hasn't actually rejected the EMA at the 4 hourly, and it potentially is trying to do that now, and then may give us the entry signal. But on a daily, we are so high up above the EMA that I'm almost hesitant. To think that it's going to carry on a bullish path. But remember, trend is your friend. So the only thing that we can use, the best tool we can use is just the trend. So currently it's there, but ultimately nobody's forcing us to take a trade until the market has showed us that trade. And I believe that if we're patient enough, we might see the move rather than just committing to something that is not. I just done my hairbed. I'm joking. All right, cool. So I would like to put this in the watch list, which it is already. And we will be, let's see what Athena's saying. So we're looking for a long position. We're looking for a long position, which is happening off the rejection, at the rejection of this area of interest. So we're waiting for this to complete and go back up. Literally is all it is, all it is. And we're gonna drop to the 4 hourly pretty much from tomorrow and just watch this for a move. Maybe I should add these to possible entries because this is possible. This is possible that this is gonna happen. And we will be able to take a trade. And remember, guys, we haven't spoken about this for a while. I'm only trading 1 to 0.5 or 1 to 1. It is crazy. It is crazy, but I still feel that I need to push my account by risking it all. So yeah, hopefully I'm not gonna regret it. The reason I say that is because we have got a beautiful trade that we've been holding on the demo account is minus 863,000. This was a $5 million account. I took this trade about 3 weeks ago. It doesn't actually have a date. And it went as low as $1.3 million. Now, just the history of this account, I started at 5 million because I wanted to see if, Alex is always trading, 500 units and he does split it up. And basically he's risking 80 grand, 90 grand, 150 grand, and he's making, 200, 300, 400 grand. And that's exactly what I've done with this. And guys, it is freaking working. I'm actually gonna show you here again so you don't have to go look for the videos. So this is how that $5 million account looks like. So when you have money and you don't give a shit about losing some, let me do this. See, everything blue here is actually won trades, right? And right now I am holding this one, and hopefully it's gonna go the right way. Now, what I've done with what you just saw there was entering to market, which I believe is the mistake. Entering to market is bad, but when you have a lot of money, entering to market can do two things. One, give you the opportunity for the market to come back up, but that is specifically if it's ranging, and you need to be very, very careful when you enter the market, because if it's not ranging, you can be screwed, like I was just in. But the stupid thing is that particular trade, I've marked it completely opposite to the trade that I've actually placed. So just dumb. What can I say? Tired maybe. But these things that I learned. But yeah, that account I was able to keep in the blue since I started it. So, and I took it from 5 million, I took it to 6 million, and now of course I'm going back down to 5 million because I have been holding the wrong trade. And we're gonna break that down once I close it. But there's a lot of learnings that's happening behind the scenes with that. Anyway, this is that. Let me finish the list now. Just going back to Athena. I wish you guys could see it. I'm really sorry that you can't. Or maybe you can. Let me see. Trading view. Outlook. Nah, it's not on the list. Sorry. I'm just looking at the OBS, the software I use to run the screens. I'm only recording this particular window, even though I look at all of the others while I'm showing you. Anyway, GBP/CHF is at 80%. This is actually pretty good. This is 80%. Actually, let me see if I can flip this. I'll stop tracing me. Okay. You see, this is what I see. And you can see this is at 80% for a short position. So I think that's pretty cool. Alex has done a really, really good job. Okay, boom, it's tracking me. Yeah, so I like this. GBP/CHF, GBP/CHF, GBP/CHF. This one is really good. This one, there's an area of interest just above here. So if we actually look at weekly, quickly, see there's an area of interest that I haven't actually, I haven't looked at this because they're all volatile like shit, and I just can't be bothered keeping like adjusting them. Go away, I don't want you. Okay, so this is our areas of interest. That's trades that God knows when I wanted to take. And the best thing about this is that it is what are we saying? Yeah, it's still for a sell. So we're putting a short position on this. Okay, so what Athena is saying is that we're going to reject this area of interest and then have a push to the downside. And I guess the reason Athena is saying that is because you can see this is a very respected area of interest, and it is a weekly area of interest. So we're expecting rejection at that level. Let's see what daily. Actually, weekly is bearish. So bearish means we would be chasing a short position anyway. Now daily is currently bullish. Daily is currently bullish, but it is in a place that, again, very well respected. Very well respected. Okay. So basically what we're saying is we're gonna see damn, why is it doing this? In order for us to actually take this trade, we need daily to become bearish. Now daily is very, very short. Daily is like, you know, just 100 pips, and we have a tool here which means we can measure it. It's not even at 60 pips. Yeah, so 60 pips, what that means is we need daily to change. We need daily to have a deeper retracement and close bearish, and then retest that area of interest, which is going to put the price at the best you can get for the trade, and then he's going to have a push to the downside. Now with the push to the downside, it's a tricky one, because if you look back, every time we rejected that area of interest, we had a push to the downside. And the push to the downside here, for example, this is a daily. This was engulfing, and he had a good push to the downside. Engulfing in the middle here didn't really matter. Then not really engulfing here, but this formation I think is healthy. And this had a big push all the way down. And then we had this we reached the bottom of it, and then we had an adjustment, bullish, then just stayed bullish, bearish, bullish, and he reached that top again. So I think it's imminent that we will see this range kind of take effect, but we'll keep an eye. Look, we'll put this in the watch list and keep an eye on it. There's no comments. I don't need to do any comments. I marked it with this, so I know what we're expecting it to do. We're expecting it to go down. All right, maybe I should just put this down here in case I forget what I said. Okay, cool. We're just going back to Athena now, guys, quickly. GBP CHF, we said that. GBP AUD 70%. This is pretty good. 70%, but it is pretty good. GBP CAD 50%. GBP NZD 80%, and we are in this one, I think. So what is GBP NZD? GBP NZD. What GBP NZD? It is, yeah. So GBP NZD is in. GBP NZD, AUD JPY 35%. We're gonna leave that alone. AUD CHF 55. We'll leave that alone. AUD CAD is 65. We'll leave that alone. AUD NZD 40%. We'll leave that alone. NZD JPY 65%. Leave that alone. NZD CHF 60. NZD CAD 60. CHF JPY 75%. We'll leave that alone. CAD JPY. Wow. This one. Look at this one. I hope you can see it. Look at this one. Oops. Sorry. Come on, you stupid thing. Okay. This is 95% potential for a short position. one day is exactly the same. So daily is also looking for a short, and weekly also looking for a short. Let's see. Let's do the breakdown and understand what is going on. I can see when we're looking at a black screen, I don't have enough light. I took the lights away from here. Sorry, guys. You can't see my smooth skin. At 39, not too bad, right? Anyway, okay, so we're looking for a short position. This is CAD JPY. I don't think I ever had CAD JPY on my list. But according to this, we're gonna add these two possible entries. Okay, let's delete this. This was our last week's kind of escapade. Okay, so what we're saying is, wow, okay, weekly is bearish. Okay, very good. This makes sense. This makes sense. We have created a double top, which is indicating a reversal, as far as I can tell. Then we have come down. What's this weekly? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Wow, that's pretty nice. That's a good respected area of interest. And it's also 60 pips, so it's almost perfect. I could even make that a tiny little bit small, but doesn't matter anyway. Okay, so right now we're saying that we're going to see a continuation to the downside. Going to daily, we can actually see that we are retesting and rejecting this area of interest. Man, this is probably going to be... I think this trade is gone already. I believe this trade has moved. Possibly. Anyway, look, this is here. We're just gonna keep an eye on it. I don't think it's gonna have the power to push back up into a more premium price for sale, but we'll just keep an eye on it. I wish it does this again and then have the push to the downside. And by doing so, we're actually going to reject the EMA beautifully. We will be touching the EMA with the wick, which is much better from any point of view. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish the list. We're just gonna go back to Athena. CAD JPY was that. CAD CHF 75%. USD MXN. What the heck is this? USD MXN. I have no idea which one this is. But anyway, it's probably other gold and funds. Yeah, that's fine. That's it. That's it. Cool. So basically that was the last one, the last of our lists. That's all we have for now. Just going back to watch list very quickly. So the watch list unfortunately is full again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 14 pairs, which is way too many. However, a minimum 4 of them is just for us to look and learn. And 10 of them that are divided also. I think 4 of them were 80% and the other ones were like 60%, but to Athena didn't look good enough. To my eye, it looks a little bit better, so we're just gonna keep an eye on them. But the plan is that Monday, I'm gonna go through this as soon as the market opens, and maybe Monday night after in New Zealand during the daytime, we are basically in Tokyo and Sydney session, so the market does some stupid shit. It does move a little bit. We'll just come to it. We'll have a look at it and see what's kind of doing, and hopefully we can pick a handful of potential entries. Right now we have got 1, 2, 3 potential entries, and we're just gonna conclude them tomorrow. But what I'm gonna do is this video is gonna go out tonight, which is Sunday, as the market analysis for the week. And tomorrow night I'm gonna do that review and possibly put another video out, possibly, but I make no promise. Yeah, if I do it, I'll post it for sure. But if not, it will be a Wednesday. It will be a Wednesday night update, and hopefully I have some trades to share. But yeah, for now, guys, this is it. I'm done for tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this video. If you have stayed to watch to the end, well done. It's probably not a lot to learn from me because I'm obviously learning myself. But if there's anything that you can teach me, or if you have any questions, let me know. This is early on. This is very early on for me. Remember, I started in February, so it's not a lot. Like my journey has just started. But I'm here to do I'm here for the long haul. I'm gonna keep pushing myself, and I'm gonna try and make things easier for you when it comes to reading where I am from a milestone point of view when you're looking at the thumbnails. And one way I'm doing that is through the money value per week, so you can see when we started making progress. Um, at least you can just narrow down to see where. But what I have normally done is when I've started a new milestone, what I hit the milestone, I change the color of the thumbnail so you can kind of easier follow through. You will see the first ones are a lot darker, and now we're changing to slightly more whiter, more warmer colors. That's the big shift to going to daily actually to do the analysis, and then only drop to fortnightly to find the entry, which is totally opposite to what I used to do. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you, or you will see me next time. If not tomorrow night, it's going to be on Wednesday night with a weekly update for the potential entries that we had. So thank you very much and have a lovely week.